All right. Let's see what we can do. Nope, Dimmadome uses the sit-down suspension before I can even sim a motherfargin' game. Cool. So we got 5 games. Lassie Thompson and UC Saros. And a 1-game suspension for somebody else on the team. Who is that 1-game suspension gonna be for? And in fairness, the Saros suspension was 5 games, not 10. It's gonna be... Well, it can't be Roman Josi. And I didn't want to take his name off the list because I'll probably just have to add it back later. So we spin again! And it's Mason Lohrei. Neat. So Mason Lohrei will also be out for the season opener. I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this. We're going to have Lohrei sit once someone's back. Because otherwise, I'm going to have to send somebody down. And it would be Schmidt, and then Saros would be the backup, and he might end up playing if Askarov. So we're waiting a game. We're waiting a few games to get the Lohrei suspension in there. Just out of pure roster necessity. But he will indeed miss a game. And same for Knucklepuck's press box suspension. That is also being redeemed, which will be 5 games as well for somebody else. All right, chat just doesn't want to make progress tonight. They just want to sit here and watch a wheel spin. That's fair. That's fine. And that means Max Pacioretty will have to serve a 5-game suspension as well. So we'll get to the Pacioretty and Lohrei suspensions when we can, because we got too many. We got too many. All right. So yeah, it's Lassie, Saros, and Josi that are serving their suspensions first. It is our season opener against Detroit. At least at least I hope. 71, 74, 77 for grades. That is not ideal at all. And also to shake things up a little bit, let's put in a prediction. Do we accomplish our goal for the season? That is the question. We'll let chat duke it out with one another to see what happens there. Oh, I'm giving ammo, but I'm also potentially taking it away from people as well if they're wrong. Gonna let you guys fight amongst yourselves for a little bit, as we do beat the Detroit Red Wings in the season opener. Who the hell saw that coming? And Akira Schmidt. Both goalies have to have a 9-10 or above. Both primary goalies, as we beat Toronto 6-5. We are 2-0. So, not the most impressive performance there for Akira Schmidt, but decent nonetheless. 2 games in until Lassie Thompson and UC Saros are allowed back after 5. Carolina, we moved to 3-0. Isn't Askarov suspended? No, UC Saros is. Let's see, Seattle suffer our first loss of the season. And the New York Islanders, final games before we get some people back, we lose that one as well. So 3-2 through our first 5. So Schmidt can be out. Saros is back and will be the starter. And Lassie Thompson will be back in for Livingstone. And of course, still 5 more games to go for Roman Josi. I keep track of everything and write it down, so it's fine. Lore's apparently up to an 80 already, which is pretty good. All right, well, we can send down Schmidt and Livingstone to start the Pacioretty and Lore suspensions. So we can send down Akira. We can send down Livingstone. So we do need to call up a left defenseman. That'll be Graham Sword, who will get his first win. Actually, in fairness, we can just leave Livingstone and play Ghost on the other side. So that's fine. But we do need to call up a forward, someone who can play left wing, and that will be Jordan Martinook as Akira Schmidt clears waivers. So we will have Livingstone replace Ghost, and Lore will be replaced by Ghost for one whole game. And then Max Pacioretty for the next 5 games will be replaced by Jordan Martinook. Which isn't great. Let's see, the one game without Mason Lore, we get shut out by the Sharks 5-0. Imagine not having our best forward and best defenseman would hurt. Imagine. All right. Well, let's get Mason back in. It was only a 1-game suspension for him. Get Ghost Bear back in there. Again, we'll worry about fixing up the defense and shit like that very, very soon. All right. Toronto is next. We lose 3-1. I don't think it's been the best of save percentages for UC Saros so far. It hasn't been. We're going to get a Scar off back in there. So we're now 7 games in, so 3 games left. Before we get our 2 top players back from these chat-imposed suspensions, we lose to Chicago. Alex Killorn suffers a wrist injury as we beat Vegas. Pacioretty will not be allowed to replace him. All right, that means that Livingstone is out. That's what's going on. This is indeed season 3. Technically, the second season that we have control in. Because season 1 we don't do too much. So, yeah, it is season 3. Just gonna have to go best lines in the AHL for the moment. And then Pacioretty comes out for Linus Weissbach for this next game. So no Yossi, no Pacioretty. UC back in there. And after this Calgary game, it'll be our first opportunity. It's not a guarantee, but there we go. 3-2 win over Calgary. It's our first opportunity to be at full strength. We'll see if that's the case. Any thoughts on the Twitter rebound? No, it's just an insufferable person being insufferable. That's all it is. All right, and Killorn is apparently very close to being back. Good. Well, right now we'd accomplish our goal if the save percentages stay this way. That would be good. Top Hat with the suspension. You guys just couldn't help yourself. I literally baited you into it. with the terminology used. Literally baited you into using it because you just can't help yourselves. It'll be a 10-game suspension for somebody. Let's find out who. We are at full strength. I won't have to remove anybody from this list. It's going to be 10 games for Brandon Duhaime. Almost landed on Roman Yossi again. So Brandon Duhaime will take a seat. Oh, no. Not Brandon Duhaime. All right. Defense is looking all right. And then forward-wise. And Duhaime's going to be out. And we know that Grundstrom has to be in anyway. So Grundstrom's back over to the left. Lino's on the left. That's good. Lauren Martinook on that 4th line. Cody Glass is down to a 76. That center depth is looking a little bit shaky. A little bit shaky. There we go. That'll be it for the next few games. A 10-game suspension for Brandon Duhaime. Everything else is looking all right. And again, AHL. Let's just go best lines. Although we do want to take Schmidt out for Jet Greaves. Hugo Alnefelt has been insane so far at the AHL level. Absolutely insane. Sweet. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. I mean, 500 hockey right now isn't the worst thing in the world. It's about to be about as expected. Good thing is Kaloran didn't get re-injured. We do lose 4-1 to Winnipeg. All right. And get a win there. Pacioretty now 8 points in 7 games. Lost to Montreal. We are very much a 500 team. And a loss to St. Louis. So Duhaime was suspended, correct me if I'm wrong, for the Winnipeg game. So he's got 6 games left. So he will be back. He'll be back to start December. All right, I mean, let's get a goalie switch in there. And donate ice creams and roses. Send them to someone who will appreciate them much more. That's my suggestion. All right, Mr. Askarov, can you get us some wins? No, you can't. That whole goalie goal for the season isn't looking too good, but it is early. Can we beat Minnesota? No. Also, probably not good that Phil Tomasino is leading our team here in scoring. I mean, obviously, Yossi's only played 7 games. He's just under a point per game. Patch is a little bit under point per game. I'm going to swap Kaloran and Evangelista. See if Luke can get the job done. Second game against Colorado. It's when our boy Duhaime will be back. But for now, starting to win some games. All right. So December 1st, Brandon Duhaime's suspension is up. We'll get him back in the lineup. Tomasino showing up now as an 86 overall. I don't think I believe that because he's a third line role. We don't exactly have an elite point producer right now. And then, yeah, Yossi and Ghost, we got to break that up. We got to break that up. It's just not going to do it. We'll take the -1. This is chaos. It's something, Sid. It's something. That's the only way to put it. You find it weird that we cannot edit player attributes in the franchise. We can edit X factors. Yes, it's actually stupid as shit, in fact. And I'd like to think the people that make this game are very aware that that's my opinion on the subject. Because it is, in fact, stupid as shit. All right. Could technically sign at least one other forward. What are we at contract-wise? 45, yeah. Elias Anderson. We'll bring in Mark Jankowski. He was here last year. That might make some people on the team happy. I can give Jankowski a decent chunk of change to count against the cap. We'll put him in the AHL. All right, let's keep it going. 9-9-2 isn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. We take on Colorado, lose 4-3. San Jose, lose 7-3. So, ugh. And surprise, surprise, goaltenders aren't too happy with their performance over the past few games. I wonder why. Let's get Kondratiev out of there for Mark Jankowski. Beautiful. All right. See if we can get some better goaltending here. 5-1 loss to Seattle. Vancouver. 4-1 win. Okay. All right. And Anton Olsen's healthy. Coyotes kind of falling back down to earth a little bit, but they are better than us, it appears. Oh, we end up winning. It's not bad. Get another goalie swap. Goal for the season was to have both of our primary goaltenders with a 9-10 save percentage or better, which right now is not looking too likely. It was looking all right at the start of the season, but since then, it's been a little bit rough. Shen Delgaizo is just flat out not working. I'm going to take Luke Shen out of the lineup. We're going to get Lozon back in because he can play the right. And honestly, we'll try that with Jeremy Lozon in the lineup. Cody Glass has not done much. Those guys only play the wing. Not much we can do. Cody Glass pretty much has to stay in. Obviously, our depth isn't necessarily our strong suit. We do have quite a few good prospects, but our depth needs some work. We beat Dallas. St. Louis is a loss. And what about Chicago? Shootout loss. Point to point, though. Scaroff will be back in, fresh off of losing his gold ability. This was the challenge to get it back, and not looking too good. So we lose to Dallas. We're just very inconsistent right now. This team starts to show some bright spots, but then can be a little bit tough. Again, our overall depth isn't amazing as we lose back-to-back games. Like, we'll string some wins together and then get blown out in back-to-back games. That seems to just be what we do. Hugo Alnefelt has been insane. He's been so good at the AHL level. Delgaizo's been bad no matter who the hell is next to him. Pretty much got no choice but to put him next to Gostisbehere. And hope that he can snap out of it. Lozon hasn't been amazing, so let's get Luke Shen back in there. That fourth line's been pretty bad. It's a rugged fourth line. Yeah, it's been pretty bad. Alex Killorn has not done anything for us. I mean, that is prime trade deadline bait for us. Pacioretty hasn't even been that good. Olesen and Grundstrom have actually worked pretty well together. We're going to go LaRue, Tomasino, Evangelista, and put Pacioretty with Sissons and Killorn. Yeah, we're going to go with the youth on the top line, just to try something different. Doesn't spark that many wins, it's okay. Let's see, Artois. Cody Glass immediately gets hurt with back spasms. So, Martinuk and Weissbach. Send down Weissbach. Gonna go with old Jasper Weatherby, who was actually very, very good for us last season. in the back half of the season once we made a crap load of trades. Good old Jasper Weatherby back in the lineup. We'll go best Lions in the AHL. And there are certain defensemen that we need to get back into the lineup. So Kulanumi. And take out Sword for Gulyayev. There we go. All right, we lose 5-1 to Ottawa. 3-1 to Carolina. We are just not scoring goals. But we took the approach of signing some veterans instead of trusting the younger guys, and we're locked in with those veterans. I mean, Max Pacioretty suffers an injury, so Martinook will be in for him. So we lose to Arizona. Again, we are still just barely scoring. We're not scoring goals at all. Jesus. Pacioretty's back, but yeah, we are struggling big time. I'm going to try to send down Cody Glass. I can't imagine he'll get claimed. We'll give Jasper Weatherby more of an opportunity. Yeah, we have the freedom to send Glass down, so why not? And we'll keep Jasper Weatherby around. People aren't too happy about Glass being sent down. But at this stage, I don't care. That top line idea is not working in the slightest. Alex Killorn has been abysmal. Has to be in a top 6 role, though, does Killorn. I don't know what to do. Can I put Killorn over here and then Grundstrom on the right? Go LaRue, Condolit, Grundstrom. Killorn, Sissons, Olofsson, Pacioretty, Tomasino, Evangelista. Just to try something different. Mark Del Gaizo is well on his way to being the dud of the season. Like, well on his way to being the dud of the season. It's not looking good for us and that goal, which means it's not looking good for Askarov moving forward. But, again, if there was ever a player... Oh, Tomasino's not happy. If there was ever a player that I wasn't really worried about, it's going to be a goalie. Goalie's in this mode or voodoo. Can I make a case to start watching the NFL for next season? Yes, it's terrible, but it's terribly fun. Phil, what's going on? Right now, I don't think I'm performing to the best of my abilities. So we're going to roll a 1 or a 2. And the answer is a 2. I am going to persuade you, Phil. I'm confident in your abilities. That is true. That is true. Taxki on the 62 months in a row, by the way. The pride of Buffalo. God damn it, I miss you. I miss playing games. I do. I do. Good persuasion. Thank you, Rich. I do my best. I do my best. Jesus Christ, we just keep losing games. Hand over fist. No matter what I do with the Lions, we just keep losing games hand over fist. I'm gonna take a look around here. As we see, Macklin is a 79 high elite right now, and we can't use him. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. I'm 2 picks over. As well, we're gonna have to move a couple of picks. I think we do have to start wondering about next season. In terms of the expiring contracts, Tomasino's an RFA, Evangelista Del Gaizo. The only UFA is Pacioretty for forwards. It's just UC Saros. It's honestly not that bad, man. And he's still putting up good numbers on a bad team. And it's not a goalie who's looking for fucking $10 million. It's really not that bad. But he only has 5 wins in 18 games because of how bad we've been. The fact he's willing to take a discount is huge. UC Saros. Whoops.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking grass.
Get the update on our lovely staff members who are working oh so hard, I'm sure. What's the market for Saros right now? Skinner in a second. Yuri Kulich in a second. Yuri Kulich in a second isn't that bad, man. It's a depth forward. Former first-round pick. And then maybe he's back out there in free agency. They do have Devin Levi. Cam Talbot, Montembeau. Re-sign Saros. Or maybe even take that Kulich deal. If I trade Saros, I'm pretty much guaranteeing that Askarov's going to be out the freaking door in the future, too. Because he'll lose those abilities. Is that a Tony D'Angelo? Might be. Might be. Pending free agents for goalies. Shesterkin, Saros, Ottinger, Allmark. Certainly some options. It's more valuable to us. A second round pick that I'm pretty sure I'd have to trade. I already had 2 seconds. So it would be a second round pick. I'd have to move one of them. I'm not allowed more than 2 picks in the same round. So we get a prospect and a pick I'd have to move. Or we keep UC Saros and hope that he can actually do good things. The thing is about Saros that I'm worried about, once we're good, is he still going to put up good numbers? Or is he just thriving because he's on a shit team? You know? That is a legitimate concern. This is a tough call, man. Not going to be anywhere near the playoffs. Trading him pretty much means condemning Askarov to losing his ability. Dvorsky in a third. Get Ryan O'Reilly back. The market for Askarov right now is not great either. Dalibor Dvorsky. I think we're going to try to keep Saros, man. I think we are. I mean, Yuri Kulich isn't bad. I do agree the second round pick is a bit of a, it's a wild card. Although clearly another forward prospect wouldn't be the worst thing in the world right now. This team can't score goals for shit. And it's not as if this guy's setting the world on fire in Rochester. We're going to move on. Well, at least from the Saros debate. Defensively. Can I get anything from Mark Del Gaizo? He has been horrid this season. I don't know why. He was very good in the AHL, but he is not cutting it at the NHL level. 5th round pick from the Bruins. Move him out for a 5th rounder, call up Willsby. Seems to be the play. Again, it's another draft pick that we'll have to move. But I mean, he brings good passing and decent skating. And yeah, he's gotten pooped on this year. He just hasn't been able to cut it at the NHL level. I think we are going to look to trade Mark Del Gaizo. And we're already pretty invested with the Bruins. You know what? There was one of the deals to say that the next deal is a Melnick. Now, of course, people didn't proc those when we were already here. But given this is such a minor trade, I'm willing to do it anyway. And it lands on 7. So we'll take that New Jersey deal. Where do I live? 1214 Home Street in Stratham, Cornwall, Quebec. I live in Maine. That's most of you get. All right, Mark Del Gaizo out to the New Jersey Devils. He has been abysmal. And with that, Adam Willsby, who was the AHL Defenseman of the Year last year, is going to get the opportunity to try and actually do something on this team. He is apparently not a great fit with this coach, but it is what it is. Luke Shen has also been terrible. Gostis Bear has also been pretty bad. Now, here's something I forgot to do that I know on the YouTube side of things people will fucking scream about. And that is no trades and no movements for the big names that we signed this year, which is Gostis Bear and Pacioretty. The idea of trading these guys, I might not be allowed to, is the problem. So, for Max Pacioretty, it's as simple as a coin flip as to whether or not he gets a no movement clause. If it's heads, he gets the deal. If it's tails, he does not. So if it's heads, we cannot trade him. If it's tails, he'll be available to move at the deadline. So we will not be eligible to move Max Pacioretty. That was his condition to signing here. So he can't be traded at the deadline. Shane Gostisbehere. Can you ask him to waive at the deadline? I can. I believe was the previous rule. The players on the last year of their contract and a no movement clause were out of the playoffs, so we can spin the wheel. Was what it was before. Typically that is if it's a multi-year contract, and it's not a multi-year deal from him. So, oh, I totally missed the follow 8 minutes ago from Pick Me Some Cotton. Because, you know, people on the internet are very funny. So Gostisbehere at 8.5 is the is in the same kind of category here. All right. So only spins to determine the amount of years we have to stay loyal to the contract. Yeah, you can absolutely, of course you can have that as username. You think Amazon's gonna police shit? So, for this spin, it is picking a number between 0 and 3. Because Ghost gets a no movement clause, well, he might. If it lands on a 0, he does not get a no movement clause. We could explore trading him immediately. It's a 3-year deal. We need this number to be as low as possible. Okay. We signed Goss, Despair, and Pacioretty with the expectation that we might be able to flip them. Yeah, they're both here. They're both here. And it's my fault. I forgot about it because normally I roll it before we sign the deals and I can opt out and say, well, that's not happening. I didn't. And this is going to happen a few times with all the shit I have to try to remember with this ridiculousness that we're doing. So yeah, Goss, Despair is here. So he's practically a cap whale for us with how bad he's playing. And Pacioretty's going to be here too. That sucks a lot. A lot. Is there anybody else that we can move? Is there anybody else? I highly doubt we get an offer at all for Lozon. Yeah, we did not. Would we get an offer for Luke Shen? No. Mason Lohrei is probably still a bit too good to move on from. Forwards, Alex Killorn. We do technically have the freedom to move. If I'm not mistaken. Because he did not get a no movement clause with Anaheim. And even if he did, he got a no trade clause. $24.25. It is a full no trade clause, but technically he waived it to get your head, so we're going to go with that. So technically we would be allowed to move Killorn. Korpisalo in a third or Trouba? We're going to wait, but I mean... Jacob Trouba. Trouba would be a good fit for our third pair defensive spot to replace Shen, and at least it would be somebody different, and apparently, according to scouting, he fits the third pair. We know Alex Killorn's not working here, and the question is, would he have even more value? I gotta be honest, we have so many good young players that I want to get into the lineup. I actually think I'm going to take this frickin' trade. I actually think I'm going to take this frickin' trade. Just to get somebody new in on defense and to be able to make room for a new forward. It's a shorter term deal as well. We have the cap space. As stupid as this is, in some regards... We're going to do this. Alex Killorn for Jacob Trouba, 1-for-1. That Killorn acquisition did not work out very well. And honestly, we can probably end up sending Luke Shen down. Yeah, Jacob Trouba is here now. Shen was apparently stripped of his captaincy, and it was given to Goss Despair. That was not my choice, but okay. You do you, game. Like trading an unseasoned chicken breast for a very dry chicken breast with salt and pepper. Fair comparison. I highly doubt I'd be able to move on from Brandon Duhaime. Who isn't even fighting people, so what's the point of him? Can't move Pacioretty. Grundstrom hasn't been that bad. I don't have to inherently... Actually, I would. If I wanted to call up Reed Schaefer, I could, actually, because Grundstrom can play the fourth line. Unless Foligno's still a fourth liner. Foligno is still a fourth liner. Not going to happen. We might have to just move on from Carl Grundstrom so I can call up Reed Schaefer and get him that playing time. And again, I think we got one here. We'll send Carl Grundstrom off to the Islanders. They're going to give us an unsigned prospect that we'll probably just never end up signing. Let's deal out Carl Grundstrom to make room, to make room on the roster, basically. Go best lines again. Is there anything else we can do to open up space to shake up this team a little bit? To try and be just a little bit better. Centers. Colton Sissons has been terrible. Brock McGinnon, a 6th rounder. There are a couple of deals here. Connor Murphy. 3rd round pick from Ottawa. And a dude named Ackerstrom who's not even signed. I mean, that's the one. Doesn't even matter how good Ackerstrom is. We get a 3rd rounder for Colton Sissons. Again, Sissons has been brutal. We have other younger guys in the lineup that we can go and get. We'll take that deal with Ottawa. It does mean, again, that we're going to have way too many draft picks. And I am going to have to figure out a way to navigate all of this. But hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. It's almost like a mini deadline here just because I need this team to be better. I think that's all we can do for the moment. So let's find out what this team looks like now.